Hello guys, here we go, PS Sound, Peter and Eddie.
Peter and Eddie, sound.
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 So this is going to be the introduction of this Suzuki Swift 2009 sporty version project, which some of you have seen pictures of. I shared on Facebook. This is going to be a project in my missus' car. She's gonna also help doing bits and bobs, whatever she can. Unfortunately not today when we are stripping it out, but some of the days she's gonna come in and do as much as she can as well. It's gonna be fun for sure. So let's go through the plan, because tiny little trunk, that's where we will hide an amplifier and a subwoofer. That's pretty much the only part of the project that's gonna be simple.
Yeah, subwoofer box instead of cutting the floor.
Maybe one day.
But
We keep the trunk simple. However, people will want to see a very simple installation in this car, like mid-bass in the door, mid-range tweeter on the pillar. And yes, that's what we should do to have a perfect demonstration option for people if they want to listen to a lower budget, simpler installation system. However, we know what happens when we do door builds, then we will just pull our hair out.
We don't like them.
And we want to change it. So there's no point to waste time on doing mid-bass installation indoor, and hence it's not going to happen there. It's going to be a bit crazier. So we're going to have... Ooh, and there it goes back.
You better let them see the progress.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Nah, we don't talk about it. We tell what equipment we are going to use.
Yeah.
Very simple. People have seen my demo wall. So we're gonna have that 5 series, 3-way. Mid-bass somewhere, mid-range somewhere, and tweeter somewhere up front. Subwoofer, the same subwoofer I have underneath the bench. It's a JL13W3, probably in sealed box, definitely not imported. And that amplifier that's missing from the demo wall, which is now on the bench. So that Zapco ADSP-Z8 channel, that's gonna run the whole system in the car. But we wanted to break it up and then show you as much as we can from this project.
The whole process.
Everything.
Stripping, deadening, absolutely everything.
Eddie said that we gotta do it properly for the YouTube community.
Yeah.
So we are doing it properly as much as we can. Minimal editing.
Yeah.
I won't have any fancy shit, just straight content.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so unfortunately we managed to lose the video that we recorded on the road with Eddie, and that would have been the best part of this whole project, to show you how we recorded the road noise on the actual road while driving. And it looks like we have to sort out our cameras, because we even watched it back, it was there, and then tonight when I wanted to edit it for you guys, it just disappeared. And not just that, but a few other videos. So it's a bit upsetting. It happens like once a year, and it happens to be just now, which is a pain in the ass. But the measurements are saved and I can share it with you now, so we can run through it, because actually that's what matters. And then when we will measure the car on the road after the treatment of the sound deadening and soundproofing, and then we will make sure that that footage is recorded so you can see it. So let's go through it. So first, when we got on the road, it was literally 2 minutes away from the workshop on little windy country roads where the surface is pretty bad. We know exactly where we recorded it, so we will do exactly the same thing at the same spot, doing 40 miles an hour. So this wouldn't say much to us just yet, but once we measure it again, we should see reduction in the road noise, and we will see how that looks. But then we measured the car again at the motorway when we got out to an area where we could do 70 miles an hour, but the road surface over there wasn't the best either. So at least we have some comparison right now. So even if we're doing higher speed, we can see that under 110, 120 hertz, the actual rumble is less. So there's less tire noise, because the road surface is smoother, there's just simply less rumble at the low end. But because we are doing higher speed, there's more wind noise. So you can see over there that 1 kilohertz, there's easy 9 dB difference, and overall above 200 hertz there's increased wind noise. So then we went on to the better road surface quality, and we did 50 miles an hour first. So this shows that obviously straight away less rumble at the low end, less tire noise because we are doing less speed and on a better road surface. And of course there's slightly bit more wind noise than when we did 40 miles an hour, but less than 70 miles an hour. And then on the same surface where we did this 50, on the better motorway we did 70. So now we are having possibly just a bit too many curves, and it's getting a bit complex, but it makes a lot of sense. So when we were doing 70, of course, then it shows that the wind noise is not that much more. Above 500 hertz it shows a bit more, but it's still less than the green one, which was the same 70 mile an hour. I may take this out so you see the two different road surfaces doing 70. So the green was the worst road surface, and then the orange was the better road surface. So with the orange above 140 hertz we have less top end noise. But then interestingly, it was a better road surface, and there's not much difference at the low end. And there's a big peak there. So that's another interesting thing, what was characteristic on that road surface. And at the very, very low end, there's a bit more noise there too. But on better road surface, the wind noise and upper frequency noise is less. And that was when we were doing 50 on the same surface. So less low end rumble because we were driving slower, but the top end noise is not much less, just a little bit. So what's really interesting is really the worst motorway road surface and the actual countryside. The countryside shows the biggest difference, even we were doing way lower speed, but there's just way more rumble because of the really poor road quality surface. And then the upper noise, the wind noise, let's call it wind noise, that's just less, as you can see. So this is also something that we can now see, how road surfaces can alter road noise. You can experience it yourself as well. Easy, very easy to see. Even when there's just a patch in this road surface, you can hear it when you drive through a smoother surface. It becomes so much quieter straight away. If you live in UK and if you know what the M25 south section is, between the M23 and Heathrow, that section is horrendous. If we measure the car over there, I bet that we would have a curve million times louder below 200 hertz, because the road surface over there is just hideous. No matter what car you have, it's just a surface that you just want to get off it as soon as possible. And then if we compare that to road surface in Switzerland, that would be, yeah, crazy. So this is what we had when the car was completely factory, and then in one of the following videos, when we finish the soundproofing, you will see the steps of the strip out, the deadening, the soundproofing, the wiring, and then we will put all the panels back and everything, and we will take the car out. Probably that's going to be like part 6 of this series. It's going to be a many part series showing the whole build. We will show as much as we can with Eddie, and we will take footage of pretty much everything, explaining every single step, so people will be able to see what it takes to build a good system, even if we use cheaper level equipment, as you could see. But we're not cutting corners on the installation, except we are cutting the car that becomes soon, it becomes the motto at PS Sound. We are not cutting corners but the car, which yeah, not many people like, but it is what it is. In order to get the best sound quality, we are going for it. So here it is. I'm gonna leave it here for this video now, guys. In the upcoming videos you will see every single part of this project, so please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, because then you will miss the next ones. And go to description as well, where I always add links to the playlist, because this is the first part, but then later on, if you, let's say you happen to watch one of the following parts first and then you haven't seen the previous ones, then from the description you can see the whole playlist. And we will also add products that we use in the car into the descriptions in the following videos, but we will talk about that. So for this one, this is it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care.